Hey, how's it going, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing and discussing Berserk, book one, which is a manga. It's not a novel. Um, I'm not the biggest manga fan, but whenever I come across something that really interests me, I'll give it a shot. And I've read Death Note twice. I own the first couple, maybe I think like two or three of Attack on Titan. So I've dabbled in it, but it's not. I like novels more, but this one was really interesting because I know I've made a video in the past on my channel talking about my podcast that I'm a co-host of, and one of the bands that we discussed for one of our album reviews it's mainly metal. So it was a metal band called Brand of Sacrifice. And, when we're doing our reviews and we're listening to it for the week, we look up the lyrics of what they're singing or screaming about. And it kept referencing this manga Berserk. So I kind of did some more research, and the band name Brand of Sacrifice is named after the brand that's on. His name is, this guy on the cover here, his name is Guts. Like a tattoo mark that he has that draws like demons and supernatural spirits to him. That's kind of like his curse. And so just kind of doing a little bit more research. It's a very adult graphic novel. So if you've got kids, don't let your kids get a hold of this until they're old enough. Very violent. Some of the reviews and comments are claiming it to be like the Game of Thrones of manga. So if you've watched Game of Thrones, you know how violent and like explicit that can be. And so far it's not quite on that level, but there are some pretty graphic and violent things in there. So just be warned. But there's like 40 of these. If you read manga, you know how some of these stories can really stretch on like forever. Just from my quick research, it seems like the series might be over. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But what I really liked when I read Death Note is that there were 12 books, and it's like, all right, here's the set story, and we're not going to make this go on forever like some TV shows do or some others do. Like there was a set, we're going to finish the story in this amount of time, which I can really appreciate. Not much of a story so far with Berserk, but you kind of get you definitely get the sense of the immensity of what the story is and who Guts is and what he's fighting for. It's not, he's almost like an anti-hero. He's fighting these demons more so to like protect himself because he's cursed with that brand that draws these things towards him. And in the process, kind of like a side effect, ends up saving people. But these things are always drawn towards him. So it's like he doesn't really have a choice but to defend himself. But in the process, when there's people around, they think that he's like a hero and he, is saving them when he's kind of a jerk at times, depending on, what section of the book you're reading. But he's a feared warrior. He's known as the Black Swordsman, or like a nickname. He's got a lot of battle scars. Like one of his eyes doesn't open. He's got this like arm. He's like missing an arm from like, I think the elbow down. And he's got this like, what do you call it? Like an arrow shooter, like a crossbow type thing at the end of his arm as one of his weapons. And he carries this enormous sword on his back. So the first book is kind of just like an introduction to the world that he lives in, the types of demons that he faces. He gains this companion named Puck, who's like this little elf. It's like, think of Tinkerbell, except that Puck is a male, and he flies around and he's kind of annoying. even on the back of the book, it says more of an annoyance than a companion. And I kind of agree with that. Like Puck kind of annoys me right now. Because it's kind of like this setting of this manga is very dark and very dreary and kind of, hopeless. But then Puck is almost like the comedic relief. But I think one of the things I don't like about manga is that like goofy, like super happy, like woohoo, type of personality that some of the characters have. So right now it's not enough. I don't think it'll ever be enough to like make me quit the series, because the rest of it is so much better than that. But I think that's one of the downsides of me not liking manga so much, is because some of those characters are just, I don't know, they seem silly to me. But Guts is going from town to town, just trying to survive, and bigger and more violent demons keep finding him, and he crosses with other people across his path. And so far the main enemy seems to be this guy who was once human and came across this like statue thing that changed him, and now he burns people and kills them for being heretics, but his real goal is to get their bodies so he can eat them. So he transformed from being once human, not being a good guy at all, but being human, and then transforming into this like supernatural immortal being and having these undead followers. And I don't really know what his intentions are. Usually the bad guys like, oh, take over the world and just cause pain and stuff. It's like, okay, then what? So I don't know what his ultimate goal is just yet, but it's pretty easy to get into. It's pretty I like the setting of it. Fantasy settings like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, they're always welcome in my book. So I guess if I haven't really scored it, but I guess I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I didn't really have that many problems with it, enough to like give it, drop it down to 4. It's not like a full novel, so you can't really develop characters, in this short time frame. I think I read it over a period of like 2 days, but it would be really easy to read something like this in one sitting. And I just bought book 2 yesterday, and I started it, and I'm maybe 25% of the way through it just from like one sitting. So, if you're looking for a manga and you're not squeamish, or you don't mind a little bit of violence, I would say pick this one up, because so far it's got a great start. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next book review video. See you later.